So now we're going to make a few more of these measurements here. One thing we have to do is make the superior orbital margin to inferior orbital margin plane. This is used to mark the protrusion of the eye. So let's hop over to Maya. And so you can see we've got some stuff going on here already. We've got the nasion-procyon plane. And this is the perfect thing to mark the eye protrusion to. So we're just going to duplicate this. So remember, Shift D to duplicate and rename before we get confused. So let's call this SOM to IOM. Superior orbital margin to inferior orbital margin. There we go. So we've got a duplicate of it. And this one is handily set up just the way we want it with the pivot point at the top. So this is a little confusing about how to do, but we want to put it sort of roughly in the most anterior part of the superior orbital margin and then rotate it down so it's just on the inferior orbital margin. Now you can see in my case the eyes are sort of slanting back, sort of posteriorly. So the face is sweeping back here. So I'm going to rotate these a little bit so it's kind of matching the orientation here. So there's no way to get this exactly perfect, but I think that's got to be a little bit further out like that, and then just rotate it out so it's just passing through. Right, so that'll give us a pretty good idea. Maybe move that over a little bit laterally. So I'm looking for sort of the most anterior, close to the midline of the orbit here. So that's pretty good. I might just rotate it a bit. Yeah, that's good. Is that good? It's pretty good. That's better. Okay, I'm happy with that. Save my scene. Of course, we need two of these, two orbits, right? So Shift D to duplicate. We'll just move it on over here. Now the other orbit's going to be a little different, right? So we got to place it appropriately for this side. Have to rotate it around a bit. So you see when I'm rotating, I'm using the axis handles to be precise. Get something like that. That's pretty good. It might be a little too medial. It's a little off the surface there. A little too deep. So something like this. And rotate it out. There you go. Okay, weirder and weirder. So we could also just use scale if we want to shrink these down a little bit. If we wanted to change these colors, we could. So select one of them. Let's select both of them. Right click, assign new material. Choose Lambert again. So this is a new Lambert. Go into this one. I don't know, make these ones blue. Yeah. Okay, good. Save the scene. And there we go. So these are the boundaries for putting the eyes in.